Well, Simone, your Eagles are looking to get after yet another Super Bowl title, and their 53-man roster is set in place to do it. That also included an undrafted free agent that made the wide receiver room, which is pretty crazy considering how good this Eagles offense is. Talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on the Eagles 53-man roster that locked in early this afternoon.
Yeah, so Darius Cooper, that's our undrafted free agent, making the 53-man roster. So the wide receiver room, as y'all know, y'all are, well exposed to our wide receiver room. It's competitive in there. It's competitive. So this offseason, obviously, we're going in with the mantra that it's going to be like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, and then, we'll see who fills out. We had two rookies from last year that were expected to have big years this season, Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson. Then once camp started, a lot of guys who were like practice squads and undrafted free agents started really popping off the screen. One of those guys being Darius Cooper, undrafted free agent this year out of Tarleton. Darius, started building a relationship with Jalen Hurts early. That's kind of how we knew, this isn't just like a cute camp story. This is for real. Like, how are we going to slim and trim that down? We did end up having two injuries. So Elijah Cook, a practice squad guy who's been on our practice squad the season before, he was with the Jaguars, didn't really stick. He was having a really good camp early on. Then he ended up getting hurt in the first preseason game. So unfortunately for him, that set him back, made it a little bit easier for us to see the wide receiver room, what it was going to look like. Johnny Wilson ends up getting hurt, and he's going to be out for the year. So once Johnny Wilson got hurt, it was pretty much down Anaya Smith, who was our 5th-round pick last year. Anias got hurt in training camp, I believe, last year. So that kind of set him back, and he wasn't able to stick. This year, Anias was looking really good at camp. Darius Cooper was just, he's just so explosive, phenomenal. And then, again, the relationship he built with Jalen Hurts. So the biggest question was, how are we going to slim down the wide receiver room? It ended up being Anias Smith getting waived. So shout out to Darius Cooper, undrafted free agent, making that room. Outside of that, we didn't really have any, real surprises. A few little question marks maybe is our returner. So Britton Covey was our returner last year. Britton Covey was kind of, he got injured a lot. So we've always had to have depth there. But Britton Covey ended up going to the Rams this offseason. We brought in Avery Williams from the Atlanta Falcons. We ended up waiving Avery Williams. So it's like, dang, who going to be our returner? Now, Anaya Smith would be a great return candidate if he clears waivers. But that's one question we have. So I'm like, maybe Darius Cooper. Cornerback room was a big question coming into camp. We kind of knew how, based off camp, we knew how it was going to look. So it wasn't a shock, but the biggest question going into the offseason was who's going to be cornerback 2. Somehow, Adoree Jackson just ran away with it. Adoree Jackson got 90% of the first team reps. So we didn't have any surprise cuts in the cornerback room. Keely Ringo's also on the roster. I didn't think Keely Ringo was going to get waived because he's a great contributor on special teams. So yeah, no real surprise cuts, just our undrafted free agent story.